Welcome back to number episode 2, y'all. Yeah, I think we're gonna call this. I think we decided on the name of "Off the Rails" for the title, but we still spitballing in it. But welcome to episode 2 of the Rail episode. It's my podcast. It's me and you. We just talking. Uh, I've been since the first episode. I was going to say I appreciate the love that was given to me on the first episode. It was the outpouring was great. I appreciate it. I didn't think you guys cared what I had to say that much, but obviously you do. There's gonna be more coming. There's gonna be more coming. It's gonna be more, arguments. I got some people I'm getting ready to bring on. So it's gonna be more of me coming along, doing what I like to do best, which is just talk, if you know me. So this episode, I'm recording on a Sunday night because I'm getting ready to watch Insecure, and I wanted to just talk about shows for the culture. And I'm gonna just give you 5 quick ones just to get in. If you haven't seen them, you should watch them. If in certain episodes, and maybe whole certain seasons you should skip. Maybe some you're pretty sure you heard of, maybe sure you haven't. But at number 5, we're gonna talk about this also later on in the week. But I'm gonna start with Insecure. I think it's just a great show by the amazing, the immaculate Issa Rae. I think it's just one of the best well-written shows by her and Larry Whitmore. Shout out to Larry Whitmore. He's one of the creative directors of that show as well. He that show is just telling about her relationship life as a young black lady living in LA. The tales, the intertwining of I would say the sentiment of racism that she had to endure, along with sexism and all the types of other crazy shit on top of her relationship life. The show is it's something you got to watch. It's just an amazing trip. It's a fun trip, and if you're part of the Lawrence Hive, even better. So that being said, that's number 5. You got to definitely work Insecure in. It's one of the best shows out. I think one of my favorite episodes is when Lawrence finally sees Issa again. I think that was season 3, I think, so season 2. When Lawrence finally sees Issa again for the first time and they have dinner, and I think that they hooked up that night. I think it was at the beginning of the last season. That's probably one of my favorite episodes. Get the clip on that. Number 4. I'm gonna have to go with Martin. Martin, I believe, is possibly still, I think the greatest comedy TV sitcom ever, to run. Um, I just with the characters, everybody has their favorite character. I'm gonna tell you mine, and it's Black Belt Jones. Just anytime he gets his ass whooped is possibly some of the funniest shit you could ever see. Um, that I think the best episode, speaking of Martin, is probably, I think I'm gonna say when they stole the damn CD player. When Bro Man stole the CD player and he had that dog and he was walking that dog around and he was petting it and the dog was fake barking. That shit has me crying. But a little caveat to the season. In the later seasons when Martin and Gina had some weird ass stuff going around, terrible. Some of the worst fucking TV I've seen. I mean, I don't know. I didn't know Gina meant that much to the show, but I damn sure didn't care for her after she was out. I guess it was one of the situations where you didn't know how much somebody mattered until they were fucking gone, because Gina was a big, she was the love figure in the show, but I didn't think it would have mattered because the show was centered around Martin. But damn, was it hard trying to replace that chemistry with anybody else on the screen. And she was so big that you couldn't write her off from the show. So I mean, that's the season 5, though. I think it's still probably the greatest comedy you could ever write. I mean, they don't do comedies like that. But like I said, just for the culture, though. No, and also on these rankings, no particular rankings on these. They're all great. I'm not gonna say one's better than the other. Martin's better than Insecure. These are just shows for the culture. Gurkha man. Shout out to Stan Lathan for working on some of Martin as well. He is a legend. So moving on. Number 3. Now, this is a personal favorite of my show. My personal favorite show of mine, excuse me, is the Jamie Foxx show. I think people slept on this show for so long, and it went for only 5 years. It went from 1996 to 2001. but I think it has some of the most funniest episodes. Um, I think a couple episodes that come to mind is season 2, episode 8. It's called Dog Pounded when Jamie was hiding the dog in the hotel of the and they weren't supposed to have any dogs in there. And he had this millionaire's dog he kept trying to hide, and the dog ended up fucking dying. And it's some of the funniest shit you're gonna see. Season 2, also season 2. Side note, season 2, best season of Jamie Foxx show, funniest shit ever. Um, Season 2, episode 13, with Tisha Arnold, when she had from soulmate to cellmate. Oh, when I say that episode, yeah, I didn't want to ruin it for you. If you haven't seen Soulmate to Cellmate, when with Jamie on the Jamie Foxx show, stop what you're doing, come back to the pod, and let me know what you think of the episode. Can we get some clips of Cellmate to Soulmate on our YouTube, on our Instagram feed? Then I was so that being said, watch it, Jamie Foxx show, and it's a show that kind of has an ending as well, because everything makes sense. It doesn't just go; it kind of does have an ending to it. So that was number 3, Jamie Foxx show. Number 2 show you got to work in for the culture, the Boondocks. I believe the Boondocks is still. I would say I think Aaron McGruder was what he did with that. What he did with that the first 2 or 3 seasons of Boondocks is still like it has to be. It has to have a moment. Somebody got to get this man his flowers for what he did on the Boondocks. And it's an anime too. And it's not many cartoons that you're gonna have adults watching like that. But this is one I believe all adults could watch because it's not no goofy shit. It's actually pretty fucking funny. I mean, obviously, I believe the peak episode is when everybody's at the R. Kelly trial, and Huey goes off. So just to give you full backstory on the show, it's about 2 brothers living with their granddad, voice played by John Witherspoon. Regina King plays the voice of Huey and Riley, which is fucking amazing to me. And they're just growing up, living with their granddad, but they're just so they're cultured, as you can say. One's really cultured, and one's kind of he's on some woke shit. He knows what he's talking about. So, and this show, it just takes you through it kind of weaves through the Black community and society and poke shit that we kind of have issues with. And, it kind of gives you the truth about it. Sometimes the truth hurts, and sometimes the truth, you got to laugh at it, to stop it from hurting so much. So I think this show is a real definition of I'm just so mad that they stopped it and we don't get any more Aaron McGruder. I mean, I don't know if you could make the Boondocks in 2022. I mean, there's a lot of shit that I don't know. It kind of blurs a couple lines. I don't know if Aaron McGruder would naturally get away with nowadays, but I believe that we still need more Boondocks. I believe they sold it short. With Comedy Central, I don't understand why hasn't Netflix or somebody picked up Boondocks like that shit. Netflix, pick up Boondocks, bring us back some Boondocks. All right. So let me see where I'm at now. So I got one with. Let's see here, Jamie Foxx, Boondocks. All right, so I think I'm in my last one, last one right now, and this one, I was going back and forth on this one because this show, I was trying to see how much it meant to me, but because of the person who was in it, this show meant more to me than I think it would. But I'm gonna say Sanford and Son because that's the show I grew up with my grandfather, and because knowing the comedy that kind of Red Fox had during that time. Also, it's crazy though. There's a lot of shit they say in Sanford and Son in 1970. I don't necessarily you can say in 2022. But still, I digress. I nevertheless, Red Fox is a comedic genius, and he was one of my favorite comedians growing up, somebody who inspired me a lot. And I definitely think that show, it was just they let him be himself. The relationship with Esther, now I'm coming to join you, Elizabeth, the old fisheye fool, with just that embodied the Black culture of the 60s and 70s, like everything that they was going through, living in Watts, and the police just stigmatizing them, and it just like it did all that while also making you laugh for 30 minutes. Like, and it's crazy. Like, it's the show is so old. Like the like the old recordings of it, like you can tell that it's recorded in the 60s and 70s, but it's still, to me, I don't know. Like, I guess I have a niche for it. So that's my list. I believe these all show, but also I'm gonna give a special side note to the UPN network. UPN in the early 2000s was smoking. They had Homeboys in Outer Space, Moesha, the Parkers. It just we need to give the flowers to UPN and the 7 o'clock time slot that they had during that run that they had. And then they had to follow up with the like I said, the Parkers. The shout out to the UPN time slot for what they did to the culture and what they did to my puberty while I was watching Moesha. So those shows are also a very, very, very key stagnant, very, very, very important piece of the culture. So those shows work into this week. If we got a lot of time off, you can catch a few episodes or catch these episodes I've been telling you about. Definitely dig into them. But that UPN time slot from 8 to 9 on Thursdays and Fridays, we need to give them their flowers for what they did for the culture, because we don't acknowledge what UPN did. Shout out to UPN. But that one's gonna be quick. I just wanted to get in and talk to you, check in with you guys, and to follow up with some more culture stuff. It's gonna be more episodes coming, longer ones, better ones. I just want to, pepper in and say I appreciate you guys listening. I appreciate the love that you guys have shown me. Like, subscribe. This podcast is just a work in progress. It's just gonna be me talking. Sometimes I get these weird urges just to record at certain hours of the day, just like randomly today. Luckily, I got Zordon to hop on with me, and we became the Power Rangers. So shout out to Zordon for working with me tonight. But this is episode 2. That's gonna be it, man. Well, I'm gonna check in with y'all soon. Love y'all. Peace.